everyone. Here's Bird and myself, Terry Ann. We're going to do a little reading for the week of January 25th to the 31st. Let's see what's going on. So, once again, I do a lot of fun things here that I don't necessarily do in my practice, giving readings or teaching, but I think it's kind of fun to look around and just see how can we play with two decks and find out what's going on for the week. So I'm just focusing on January 25th to the 31st, this entire week, and just pulling a card that attracts me. This is called Fall. So we are in winter in the northern hemisphere, and we are in summer in the southern hemisphere. So fall is an interesting way off kind of commentary saying, okay, maybe there are things I would say that we haven't actually harvested from the fall. Things we have not harvested. So that's going to be a good cue and clue to what we need to do this week. If there's something I haven't harvested, maybe there was a question you didn't answer in your life. Maybe there wasn't a task, or there was a task that you did not complete. If there was some advantage, because during harvest time in the fall, this is going to be for northern and southern hemisphere. By the way, I'm looking at both hemispheres. That at some point we didn't take advantage of something that was offered to us. Even if it has to do with finances, it could be you didn't invest some money that needed to be invested, or you might not have gotten a refund check from the government. I just received a refund from 2012. That's 12 years later, which was kind of a nice surprise. So, I'm just seeing that kind of advantage. Now I'm going to check on what I just picked up, and I'm going to use the other deck. So this deck brings in the Eight of Wands. Okay, interesting. It's a fire card. It also shows in this fire card, it's got usually has a baton with some leaves growing. Okay, so that indicates that something is brewing, something is happening. But in eight, obviously, even in this card, there's something brewing because we have the tornado in the background with the witch and everything moving. So something's brewing. But in eight, what can happen is we can move too quickly through things. So that tells me, all right, maybe there was something in the fall we moved through too quickly through that needs to be picked up, looked at again, so we could use it to our advantage. All right. The other thing with eight, I love looking at eight as a moment in time during a cycle. A cycle goes from 1 to 9 in the tarot. And when we get, 1 to 10 in the tarot, but in numerology, that your numbers are really 1 to 9, and 8 indicates the pinnacle of the cycle, wherein everything we could do in that cycle has finally come to its fruition, and we begin to envision what needs to happen next. If that doesn't start happening, oftentimes we get blocked and congested, and then when we get to 9, where we have to end things, clear things out, throw things away, just basically do a lot of spring cleaning, we won't be able to do it. Usually we do have a vision of what we're going to do, and then the next period is very, very much like, okay, yeah, I got this vision, then I'll clean it out in 9. In 10 in the tarot is where we feel satisfied with the job well done. I would say, we can get to 10 and be satisfied with certain things, but I don't necessarily see that I am satisfied with everything that goes along in a cycle. And remember, a cycle is 10 years, 9 years, and then you go into the new cycle in 10, which is 1. Or you have a day cycle, you have a week cycle, you have a month cycle, you have all kinds of different cycles occurring at the same time. So because we're working with a week, we're referring here to the cycle of this week, but it's bringing in the bigger scale of, hey, we're out of season. Something's out of season here. So you might look back and review in a really gentle way, take a little revision. What's going on? What has been going on? What did I miss out on doing? What did I do maybe that brought me down a road that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be? And you can review that, review where the mistake was, especially if you did, you did something and missed something, or you actually overdid it. Either way, it doesn't really matter. You can use either one of them to go back and harvest, let's say, that wisdom. So I'm going to pull another card and see where we're going with that. Faith. So fascinating. Faith is obviously, here we are doing this reading. What did I do, in the last 6 months, maybe even just 4 months? What was going on? What did I miss? What needs to be looked at? What is there to help me through the next cycle? And faith comes up, which is have faith that you're going to find the answer. You don't have to just look and say, I have to know what it is. It's ask the question, what did I miss? What do I need to know? Or what's something that I have or have not done? And allow it to come. Have faith that it will come. And we're going to look at one more card for this week. That's a lot already to focus on. And here we go, the Chariot. By the way, I should have said it here. I really thought the Chariot was going to come up over here. And here it comes up in the other one, which says that's going to move us forward. So the Chariot is movement. It really concludes the reading very nicely, telling us, yep, we're going to figure this out. Have faith that the answer is going to come to whatever question you posit, that maybe has some cues and clues from fall, your last fall coat. So for the Northern Hemisphere, it was going to be September to December. And for the Southern Hemisphere, it would have been earlier in the year, which takes a little bit more effort to find out what did I do or not do in the fall. Probably there was a lot regulated for the Southern Hemisphere in the spring, and they got to see those things. So for the Southern Hemisphere, maybe, the fall, you could also use this. I know this is much longer than a week, Southern Hemisphere folks, but if you use this reading to kind of go, well, maybe it's going to be about the fall last year, but maybe I figured it out by the time spring came. And if you're saying that to yourself as I'm doing the reading, then you go, all right, then maybe it's about fall upcoming, and it'll help you have a greater sense of, let me ask questions, let me use things to my benefit. Even if it's just a tiny, tiny little thing, even if it's somebody says, oh, well, I have a little piece of advice for you, and I have a recommendation. Very often we'll say, no, I know what I'm doing. Listen, yeah. So that's a lot longer reading than the week, I know, but I think that might be helpful. For the Northern Hemisphere, well, we're going to see what the next fall brings and what spring brings for us. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out so that I can continue bringing you these free live, 3 free readings. Please also, ask any questions, and I'll do my best to get back to you in one of these readings. And Bert says goodbye too. Bye-bye.